What's happening, fishing friends? Listen, have you ever wondered how much gear and lures and all that stuff you can fit into a kayak like this? Well, as somebody who's new to kayak fishing, I've often wondered that, and I'm quite surprised by how much I can bring on this with me. So today I'm going to take you through what I'm kind of bringing on this, the way I've loaded my tackle, storage, all that kind of stuff, do a walkthrough, and hopefully get some feedback from all of you because, like I said, listen, I'm still pretty new to this, so I would love to hear your feedback. Now, if you missed my previous video going over this, all the features, storage, all the stuff that's on it, I'll leave that video linked at the end because, if you didn't know, I got the Native Slayer Max Propel 12.5, and so far, I am loving this thing. So let's start right here on each one of these sides. There's my seat, that's where I'd be sitting. On each one of the sides, Native has molded in holders here for 3600 size boxes. You can see here it's got a cool little latch system. You undo this, that's what holds your box in there, and you can pull that out. So since both of these boxes are right here within arm's reach, I'm going to show you what I put in these because I figured it would need to be stuff that I use a lot, break off a lot, or things that I'm going to need to reach for on a regular basis. So the first one, this is one of the Plano waterproof, and everything I'm going to use on the kayak is waterproof in case I ever do flip. Probably not if, but when. All this will hopefully stay dry in here as long as you don't overpack them too much because these have a seal around the outside of them. They have to make contact and press down to be waterproof. If you have too much and have it bulge, it's not gonna make this waterproof in here. So I got the 3600 that has a larger side over here. And here I've got all my regular like Texas rig normal hooks that I would think about. So flipping hooks, EWG hooks, I've got some like wacky hooks, worm hooks, all that. Not a ton, but I tried to have a few, drop shot hooks. I tried to have a lot of the common ones in here. That way if I break off and need to rig up again, everything's right there next to me, right next to my seat. Now, I've also got a lot of my terminal stuff in here. So I've got extra hooks, size 6 and size 4 trebles. Those are the most common sizes that I use on my crankbaits. I've got my Texas rig weights in here. I've got some free rig weights. Those could also technically double as a drop shot weight. I did put drop shot weights in here. I've got some Nico weights in here. Some of the, type you stick in the nose of the lure, the like pointy type. Some of these other ones from Z-Man. Also got my bobber stops and then some blade type things that you can put on like a spinnerbait. Not a spinnerbait, sorry, a swim bait. So you can see it's got a screw lock here. You can screw that into your swim baits and it adds a little flash, a little blade to it. So that was the first one, just some common stuff I figure I'd need to reach for and use a lot. Now in the second 3700 size, on the other side, a lot of the same stuff, some drop shot hooks. I've got like some clips in there if you want to clip something. I've got some more spinner things, some O-rings, some split rings, that type of stuff. In case I need it, that way I've got it there. I'd rather have more of these and not have terminal stuff because you burn through it. I don't even have anything over here yet, so I don't know. Comment below, what do you think should go in this one? Now, a cool deal with the Native boats, and I'm not sure, maybe all of them have this or some, different type of it, but they have storage underneath the seat. Of course, this would be screwed down and locked in, but it allows me to put 2 of these in here. And these are the 6 cents bags. I really like these for carrying extra plastics like in my truck and such. And the way I broke these down was by like swim baits, trailers, and then in this one, I've got like my Ned rig stuff, drop shot worms, craws, like jig trailers, all that type of stuff in here. And as you can see, I've got a ton of stuff in here. So it's not like I've only got a couple packages. I wanted to make sure I had a bunch of stuff. Let me count how many's in here. I've got 42 bags of plastics in here. I would say that's a good amount. On the second one here, like I said, this is kind of how I broke it down, was with swim baits. Now the last time I went out, I just kind of threw some stuff in here. I kind of need to redo some of this, but the way I was thinking of it was trailers for things, swim baits, paddle tails, straight tail stuff. I've got some of the Hog Farmer spunk shads, my Kitex, and I also was carrying my extra leader lines in here, some 10 and 9 pound, pretty much what I use most of the time. Some Yum sonar minnows, but I've still got a bunch of stuff in here and room if I needed to add more. So that's how I've done my soft plastic. Now for the rod setup, I've got mine set up right now to hold 6. So the Slayer that I have has 2 already built into it. So you can see one there, one on the other side. They point backwards, so that's 2. I've got my kayak crate here. I got this at Gander for like, I don't remember, a couple bucks. It was one of 2 left when they were going out of business. I bought it for just storing boxes like this in my basement, but I still had the tubes and stuff for it, so I hooked it up. And as you can see here, I've got 2 on each side. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can carry a total of 6 rods. Sorry, I know that was shaky there. I can carry a total of 6 rods with me. I don't know if I'll need to add more. You can buy these tubes separate, and I could always add a couple more there and carry 8, but I don't think I would need more than 8. And this is kind of the business area of the kayak back here. So behind the seat, They've already got a little molded in deal here where your seat sits, where you can fit a 3700 size box. I haven't even used that. I didn't need it the other day that I took it out, but you can get one of those in there. These are the new Daiwa boxes I want to try out, and they are waterproof. Not sure how well I'm going to like them, but we'll give it a go. In front of that, there is space. I had all my snacks and everything down here. That way they were within reach, but I could also put this box here. That's another 3700 slim. You could probably even fit a fat one there. Another 3700 size there with your stuff. And in here, you could fit, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 3700 sizes. These 3 of them are large. This is a thin. I've got a 3600. This one I just threw in now just to show you that it would fit. I didn't even have this the other day. So these 3, 2, and 3 don't have anything in them, but look how much gear you could get just in those, how many lures and stuff. Okay, so what I actually carried the other day was a 3700 size. This one had all my jerkbaits in it. I love jerkbait fishing. The day I went out, I really thought it would be a jerkbait day. We got some Rapalas in there, a few of the Mega Bass, some Stunnas, Lucky Crafts, a couple of the Bass Pro ones. I was throwing that Rapala one the other day, really liked it. You'll see that in a kayak video coming up. But really just jerkbaits, my shorter diver than my deeper diver ones over here. Oh, 6 cents provoke, not deeper, but that's kind of how I broke those up, was shorter diving and then deeper diving over there. So my jerkbaits. This one, another one of the Flambeau waterproof. This was all my jig heads, kind of terminal tackle stuff. So Ned heads, shaky heads, swim bait heads, stupid tube heads. I've got some other, weighted belly swim bait deals. I've got some underspins, top spins, whole bunch of EWG Ned heads. If you haven't tried those, give them a go. They are game changers, especially if you fish from the bank. But all my terminal stuff in here really, and then this deal here, this is kind of cheesy. This part comes out. I don't really like that design. I wish they would have just done more of these. But I've got some wacky rigs in there, some little Ned rigs, just a little deal you can put in there, and then the top closes on it. But that's all of my kind of jig head additional terminal stuff. Now in the first large 3700 size, these are all treble hook baits. So this was really all of my kind of crankbait, lipless cranks for this time of year, spring now. These were things that I would think would work. I've got a couple deep divers, mid divers, shallow divers, square bills. That's how I kind of broke this whole thing up. Now this can kind of change as the year goes on, or if I'm going to a place where it's like, it's so grassy, I don't think I'm gonna need any of this stuff, I could always just pull this box out and replace it with something else. But there you go, kind of the lipless, shallow, a little bit deeper, really just my crankbait box. And then this is one of the Plano Edge. People seem to either like or hate these. I like them, I've had good luck so far. Again, waterproof, they've got that gasket around them. But in this one, this is all my single hook baits. So this is the deep one, and it's deep enough that it will fit spinner baits in here. So you don't have to bend them, you don't have to smash them. I thought this was pretty cool. I'd never tried this before, and after I started putting them in there, I'm like, hey, this will work. Now you notice on both the crankbait box and this one, these aren't even all the way full yet, right? I've already got a ton of stuff in here. I've got my chatterbaits on one side. That's one of the new Bass Pro Shop ones. Chatterbaits, I've got 3/8 half ounce. I've got some top spin swim baits in here, a whole bunch of spinner baits, a bunch of swim jigs in here. You can really fit a lot in these deep ones, and with the amount of stuff I can carry, I don't feel like I'm short anything. Now the only thing missing out of here, I did have a small 3600 like this with all my jigs, so it had flipping jigs, finesse jigs. That's the only thing that's not in here that I actually did have that day that was put in this box. Now the thing that's crazy about this, if you're a huge tackle guy and you're like, Debo, I don't know that you got enough. I think I've already got more than enough. I am gonna fill this up because this crate's still light. I figured it would be crazy heavy, but I can definitely put a couple more things in there. You could use this spot back here, like if you had plastic bags, those ones that I've got under my seat, you could put those back here. You could technically fit a couple of those here. I mean, there's mods, there's things that you can put on the rail. I know Gramps has shown some of those boxes that like pop open and he's got like snacks in one and then soft plastics in another. You've got stuff like that. There's like little locker boxes you could put on the side on those reels. That's the thing so far that I really like about the kayak, is how like set up it is to accessorize and make it how you want it. The John boat that I have is just a bare bones skeleton. You would have to install all this stuff, but this is already set up for it. So I really like that about the kayak. You've also got storage up here. Technically, if you wanted to use this, you could put things in there. That's where my battery is for my depth finder, and then I've got like tools and miscellaneous stuff up there. So you could even utilize that if you felt like you didn't have enough. But with what I've got there, the plastic boxes, the stuff there, and then 3 3700s that don't have anything in them already, I feel like that's enough. I don't know. What do y'all think? Now, one important thing that is missing from this is a first aid kit. So actually, hold on. I picked up this the other day from my local tackle shop. So this is gonna hold my electronics. Again, it's waterproof. This is the heavy duty, they call it the Plano Guide series. Like this is a thick, really heavy duty little waterproof case. It's got a nice little handle on it too. So if you put it back here, you can just, but anyway, I was gonna put my lights in here. These are, if you've never seen them, these are the Guardian Angel lights. These already came on my boat and they're magnetic. Check these out. You know, if you're operating between the hours of sunrise or sunset, you have to have lights on there, your white light and then your red and green. That's how I've got mine set up, and these have little clips where you can just clip these on. These deals, that way it's magnetic, and it's pretty strong, but even if it were to fall off, it stays attached. So I've got my nav lights there, whoop, SOS and some other crazy stuff, but those just are magnets that are on there, and then they're rechargeable. Those things are sweet. I think Guardian Angel is who makes those. So I've got my back one, my front one, then I also bought a headlamp, so for at night if I'm coming out, I've got a little headlamp there. This is a new Spro one. Got it on sale at Tackle Warehouse. I figure, why not? Throw those in there so they're waterproof, and then also gonna make space for some first aid stuff in here. Hopefully I can make it fit within this. If not, I can always throw a little first aid thing in, but I think this is more than enough room to have ample, you know, first aid stuff for what I'm gonna need in here. So fishing friends, I wanna hear from all of you. Like I said, I'm new to the kayak game. I've only had it out, what, 3 times so far? So far, again, I have loved it. It's been a lot of fun, but I wanna hear from all of you. Do you feel like there's organization I could change or do different? I know a lot of it's completely personal preference, so you know, I try to keep that in mind. But if you have any tips or little things that have helped you through your kayak journey, comment below. Now, speaking of kayak friends, old Greg Yackenstein Fishing, he's starting to do some of the YouTube and such now. He only lives about an hour from me, so I'm gonna have to get out and kayak with him. He's invited me a couple times. Hasn't worked, so Greg, thanks for being a good fishing friend. I appreciate you. And everybody else who continues to watch me, whether I'm bank fishing, kayak fishing, whatever it is, supporting me in this crazy journey, I appreciate the heck out of y'all. So that's enough for me. I gotta edit, so thanks for watching, and until next time.